There's oil and gas. Ghana and Guyana discuss leveraging local content. That's what's on the front page of the Finder newspaper. Also, why vilify Bank of Ghana for saving the economy and slowing down a rising cost of living. And GTA also unveils December in Ghana 2023. That's what's there on the front page. 2 Ghana cedis stake can win 1 million Ghana cedis in Mega 6 Lotto. We'll be talking about it on our sports segment here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Daily Graphic: search reveals more cash in Cecilia Dapa's house. When we said it, they said we lied. Well, who's the joke on now? Shama untapped industrial port towards energy sufficiency. Nuclear power inches home. Installation site identified. Vendor selection ongoing. Koras's centuries old mango tree with 3 different fruits there. The Daily Guide: Mahama attacks Bank of Ghana governor. Julius Deborah runs from Veep, and lots of persons have been wanting to, talk about Julius Deborah as a vice presidential candidate for John Mahama, but it says allow John Mahama to make his own decision. OSP finds $590,000 US. 2.73 million Ghana cedis in Cecilia Dapa's house. Otumfuo distills Abodom chief over Galamsey. Ghana's commitment to Guyana is the real deal. We go now to the Informer newspaper. Approving of dodgy loans. This madness must stop. Isikado chief fires the MPs. As Nana Kobran Ketia V, he is the Omanhin of Isikado Kitan traditional area. And in this issue, minorities resignation call varsity dons divided on opinions. Director of Elections appointment Omanibo Amahame's chief of staff as Eastern hegemony continues. Saglemi housing projects private sector approach most viable according to the Minister for Works and Housing, Francis Asenso Wache. Jenapo inaugurates 10-member COP28 committee. The Daily Analyst this morning says Mepe Saint Kizito SHS lacks toilet facilities. Students defecate in bushes. Oman Ghana. After 66 years, Muntaka waits into KMA ban on Aboboya, whereas Ecomog, Africom boss quizzes and disregard media accounts of bank balances. Special prosecutor clarifies amid 5 million account balance claims. When human beings work at the banks, we know human beings, they know us, we have sources. NDC running mate saga give Mahama peace of mind to choose. Julius Deborah tells supporters Kwesi Pratt celebrates 70th birthday. And finally, the BNFT ADB bounces back from DDEP, posts significant half-year profit, unveils strategic plan to drive growth. School feeding program gets major dietary boosts, and government secures $200 million US World Bank fund for tree crop diversification. 200 million. How much do we have again? Navigating Bank of Ghana 60 billion Ghana cedis loss. Absorption in DDEP. Parliament approves 1.4 billion GMPC work program. Let's check out what's on the weather before we get into the details and discussions. Felicity Afianyo is joining us now. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Johnny. I am better today than yesterday. What about you and the guys?
I am greater than Accra, if you ask me. Now, you tell me, yesterday you gave us a very accurate weather warning, in spite of the fact that you people are owed $10 million and you could do better with that money. But what's happened today?
Today, as usual, we give glory to God. We are managing. And greetings to our dear listeners and viewers. Still cloudy weather is expected over the entire country, with light rain or drizzle expected over Greater Accra, Central and Western region. We're having mist and fog patches over the Eastern Ashanti and part of the Bono East areas. We expect it to clear by sunrise, that's towards mid-morning. For the north, we expect partly cloudy now, but then in the afternoon, we have a rainstorm which is propagating from Nigeria. It's about entering Benin, northern Benin, so we expect it to come, induce more cloudiness for the north with scattered cases of rain and thunder. We are having between 30 and 60% chances for them, so they should watch out. For Greater Accra, the afternoon will stay cloudy. It's still light rain or drizzle, but it's going to be in patches. It's not going to be every area that will get it. Later, the sun will also shine briefly and then goes back to the cloudy situations. Temperatures will still be mild, very comfortable. I'm sure most of us are missing the sun, but don't worry. September is almost here, so the sun will still start smiling on us. For temperatures, we expect it around 28 and then 31 across the 16 region. The state of the sea is still dangerous. So if it's good, our fisher folks, the local fisher folks, should not go onto the sea. They should still relax. Hopefully, the pressures are reducing. We are hoping that by Monday it will reduce drastically. Then they can go back to do their fishing activities. Tomorrow, Saturday, yes, a lot of people will be going for outdoor activities, funerals, naming ceremonies, weddings, and whatsoever. For Greater Accra, yes, they can do, but there is still light rain or drizzle is expected. In the north too, we are having isotopes scattered for them tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Then Sunday, the early morning to cloudy with light rain or drizzle over the southern sector, with higher chances for scattered thunderstorms over the north. But then we will still be giving you the 6-hourly update. If there is a need that the impact will be great, we'll issue a weather warning.
Thank you very much, Felicity Ahafia. We're grateful for your time. This is a Sunrise Morning Show on 3FM 92.7. Good morning, William. Good morning, Helen. How are we doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you as well.
Yesterday was a good time at the Labadi Beach Hotel with the US Ghana Chamber of Commerce meeting. Today there's a very serious intellectual property meeting happening.
Yeah.
And I wish we would engage intellectual property there.
That's true. I hope a lot of people take advantage of it. And I think William made a good point about the media highlighting some of these opportunities in the space. So I think it's a step in the right direction so people can take advantage of some of this free resource. Look at the times we live in. You can't afford to pay for some of these things. So it's good to go and learn a thing or two.
My only challenge is that when the people get to these places, they stay with the food in the foyer and not go into the meeting spaces.
What are you saying, Johnny?
Yes, I saw them. You saw them yesterday.
I didn't. We had a little gossip session.
Some people who stood by the food. The first session ended. They were still by the food.
But you see, it's a very clear sign of the poverty level in the country. This is what we call the multi-dimensional poverty. even media persons, when we go for assignments, see the way people struggle for food. It's not something.
And that's why I find it strange why vilify Bank of Ghana for saving the economy and slowing down rising cost of living at 43.1% inflation. And the World Bank and IMF have had to tell you to tame it down further. You shouldn't be praising yourself. You shouldn't be praising yourself. Yesterday, what I saw is sent real signal to me. And I met 5 people, business people. They sell fast-moving consumer goods. And 5 of them told me they haven't sold anything since morning. I met one at 4. I met the other at 6. Then around 8, 9-ish, the other 3. And they all had the same narrative.
They hadn't made a sale all day.
2 of them I had to give money. Yes. Because now they were contemplating how the children will go to school this morning.
Goodness.
It is a reality, the reality of most people. We just want to wish the problems of the people away.
That's right.
But you cannot wish people's reality away. You cannot wish it away.
And when we had that latest installment in the thought leadership series talking about, the state of affairs, Professor Frimpong Boateng said something that stood out to me. In fact, he repeated it twice. I ended up tweeting it because it spoke to my spirit. He says, young people in Ghana have dreams that they can no longer afford to postpone. And when I posted that on my Twitter, a lot of you engaged with it, and the responses were heartbroken. A lot of young men coming into my mention saying, you turn around or you blink and the time has passed you by, and all of the opportunities you would have wished to have partaken in gone. Is it a crime to have to be Ghanaian?
Mr. Kwame Pinim made an analogy that when he was young, he thought of building a house. And so he bought bonds so that by 10 years, he would be able to reap the dividends and build his house. By 10 years, the money had devalued and he couldn't build a house. It tells you a story that you are saving for the future, but by the time the future is due, the money would have been halved or
Absolutely
reduced to a quarter or whatever it is. Now, if you have 100 cedis, it is no longer 100 cedis. It is less 43 cedis, 1 peso, or 10 pesos.
It's sad.
That is our reality.
It's sad.
So
We should be able to explain inflation to the people in this manner. Then they know what we are getting into. Yesterday, one of the senior citizens that I also met at the expo, senior citizen, was one of the panelists. He said his generation have messed up the country. But instead of admitting, we are not keen on admitting. So he is interested in helping young people to have a different mindset, have a different agenda, because we are the ones who can save the country.
Tony, that's a very interesting perspective, because also during the Thought Leadership series, Kwame Pinim said the same thing. He said, my generation doesn't like to talk about things. We'll sweep it under the carpet and just keep on going. And I think that's what is costing us, this culture of don't say anything, just grin and bear it. Just
leave it.
Ghanaians,
Pretend everything
yeah,
is okay.
Ghanaians will forge ahead, do their best. So let's not disrupt things too much. Let's move ahead. Let's do things and let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. And this is where we are.
we are here because the conversations around the economy, we've not been intentional about it. Because those people have read books, literature, plenty of it around the economy. We are looking at how to put money in the pockets of the people. That's what the politicians say when they have the opportunity to campaign for, And we still have monetary poverty, we still have education poverty, we still have basic infrastructure poverty, where our roads are still bad, where people are having low quality education. The numbers are increasing, yes, but what's the quality? It's another discussion. And then disposable income. We are talking about people coming to Labadi Beach Hotel for the program, and the concentration is on food. Yes, because when they do the calculation in terms of the money in their pockets, they have to sort themselves out against breakfast and lunch.
Quickly.
Yes, I do that these days. Oh, I do that. I don't give it chance.
Free food chance.
At all. I factor it into the cost of the day, so that if Lloyd says today we're doing Wache morning, I calculate that then today I'm saving maybe 20 cedis, and then it's a very real reality. A very real reality.
Food costs have doubled.
Yeah.
Because we were broadcasting from the foyer, I took notice of a lot of the folks, a lot of them. And like William said, it hit me when I realized that we started the first session at 9, right?
That's right.
Mr. K.T. Hammond's his speech was the last, and then we wrapped up for Urban Blend to take over. Between 9, when the panel conversations were ongoing, all the keynote addresses, and that 12 o'clock, people were still standing by the food.
What do you want them to go and stand? Because
it's tactical calculation.
The speeches that they are going to give there, they've heard them before, and nothing serious.
I think people were waiting for the tangibles where they can go and meet and greet and actually connect. But I think especially when Honorable Trade Minister was speaking,
he was not the only one who was speaking.
That's right. That's right.
Before him, there was a whole panel conversation.
Yeah.
Former SIC boss.
Yes.
All Star Insurance was on the panel.
Yeah.
So the wealth of experience, and he spoke about how President Kufuor brought all of them into the public sector from the private sector to come and help revamp and all of that. first vice president of Cosmos Energy, head of business unit. He was on the panel.
That's right.
You had a strong panel, and they were talking about, in fact, it was the first vice president of Cosmos who told me that his generation has messed up the country. So he is interested in helping young people to spice and spruce up stuff for themselves. They were on the panel, spilling some good beans.
That's right.
But talking about the
surviving
food issue, I'm happy and I give them credit for putting Agric on the table for discussion.
Yes.
Because we've got it wrong when it comes to Agric. And Mr. Peter Sedria, the executive director of All Star Insurance Brokers, was telling me that look, even Agric insurance is a problem because we are still doing the cutlass and hoe kind of farming or Agric. So it's difficult for the insurance companies to go in. We need to have large mechanized farming. We need to have irrigation to guarantee all year round farming, so that if I'm insuring such a business, I know that look, I'm not going to go down. But when we haven't concentrated on those things and we are asking them to insure, what are they going to insure? So the discussion yesterday around Agric and Agric insurance was very positive, because now all the major economies around the world are concentrating on Agric. All the big names you know, besides doing engineering and tech, they also have Agric on the side. Bill Gates and all those big names, they are still doing agriculture. And America is big on agriculture. Tyson Food is doing a lot of chicken. We have maize around the Ohio area. We have wheat coming from there. Even Ukraine, that is war torn, they are still dealing with their grain issue. Russia is doing farming. So for you to be, financially sound as a country, you need to do a lot of Agric. So I don't spend all your money chasing dollar to bring in.
In fact, even
rice,
the Agric has to be targeted.
That's the
to
point.
what the people demand on a daily or regular basis. And yesterday, one of the conversations that we had was around this table. How often do we demand for chocolate?
No.
But a commodity like a comfy juice, we would take it almost every day.
The kids will take it every single day
to school.
Yeah.
Do we inject the amount we inject into cocoa farming, which we know is being destroyed by Galamsey, into a comfy? The targeting is wrong. The dining table items that we need for every morning, it's not happening.
That's right.
Yesterday, they said the U.S. business with Ghana in the last year was $3.7 billion. And they were talking about things that they brought here, technologies, and all that we were taking there was raw cocoa and minerals.
That's right.
When I read the document, I was like, what are we saying? Everything is raw. So we won't get as much money to balance our economy,
It go be. That's all I can say. But just so you know, if you lose garden, organize a forum and you put breakfast there, people will focus on the breakfast for you.
No, but it's okay.
It's okay. It was a nice spread, delicious. Held me over up until so the formation. My formation yesterday was 1-0-1. Got it. Yeah.
People were around the food. Hey.
No, but even among the press, when you go for assignment, you see how people literally.
Did I tell you about something we had, myself and Gideon Sakite?
You told us the scramble wasn't easy.
We went to one of these embassies and they served food, finger foods. We're taking them around. They took it towards the diplomatic corps. Everybody was, you just pick one. Yes. Then they brought it towards the Inky fraternity. And then they swarmed on the tray. And then the thing fell with the tray. And they went down into the grass with the tray. That was when we left the place. We left the meeting. Because it was a garden function, so we left.
So they descended on the tray?
Yes, and then they followed the tray down. In fact, the waitress was just standing there watching.
She was in shock.
She couldn't believe it.
No, but times are rough. Very rough. So some of these things, it's not something that we should encourage, but you can easily explain it away.
Charlie, it be serious.
Just yesterday, the inflation is gone up.
The press is able to talk about everybody's problem, but theirs.
It's true. That's a fact.
Press is able to talk about everybody. I mean, from salary structure to conditions of service to, all manner of things. But we are quick to talk about everybody's issue and fight for people. Yesterday I saw some nurses at the event say, "Oh, you fight for us, NAPCO, NSS." They don't know.
Who's fighting for the press, man?
Nobody.
You have the platform.
Say again.
You have the platform.
Do you make the story about you? You are not the story.
Oh, master.
That's what we're taught in school.
Then if you are not the story.
That's what William. That's what we were talking in school. That you are not the story.
But at least you have GJ. You can channel your grievances to them. They do,
Please.
amplify your.
I have always said that if you look at the number of times that pressmen have been beaten, and GJ's only thing is we condemn it in no uncertain terms with that blue letterhead. It puts me off when I see it. It puts me off.
The blue letterhead.
Yeah.
The boy.
With those words on it, we condemn it in no uncertain. It puts me off. That's why I have said that if you approach me with the blue, I will give you one in return.
Wow.
Yes. I won't wait for GJ or wait for Ghana police to investigate.
It's a
Godfrey Tanam, he was beaten in front of the police headquarters. Where's the matter? Stanley Nibleu was beaten at MPP headquarters. Where's the matter? Joseph Armstrong was beaten at immigration. Where's the matter? I can give you a whole list of it. Where's the matter?
Right.
So if you come to me with a blow, I'll give you one in return. I won't joke.
hey.
You have to protect yourself. Yes.
Blow for blow.
Yes. Then the police can come in and say, okay, we were causing public nuisance, so they can take us both on.
Hey.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you, hand in hand.